Hello students, evening. Today we are still on market failure. Remember our previous video, we're looking at the causes of market failure and what market failure is. And we said market failure is not a situation whereby the free market economy is failing to allocate goods and services in social, uh, which are socially desirable to society at an optimum level. So this is a problem that is caused by the free market economy, them failing to allocate goods and services that are socially desirable. So we want to look at the solutions to market failure. So because market failure is to be reduced, and we mentioned that we need to know the causes of market failure so that they can know the ways and the policies of the solution to reducing market failure. So let's start the solutions to market failure. So we have what to call regulation. Regulation, you're looking at the government regulation can address externalities, monopolies, and imperfect information. These are all causes of market failure that are going to be addressed through regulation. As regulation, as you know, is the use of law um, to control or to cabin the issue of externalities. They need to be addressed. The idea that the companies causing negative externalities to the environment, they need to be regulations that make sure that they don't cause too much harm to the environment, whereby the regulation may be in form of introducing a tax, a pollution tax, carbon tax, also have also monopoly taxes, which are linked to make sure that the monopoly will exploit consumers by overcharging higher prices and causing what we call unfair pricing practices. And also the issue of imperfect information needs to be addressed. The idea that the products are supposed to be labeled, that consumers are aware of what they are taking into their body, which is very important. The idea of imperfect information, whereby either they will be asymmetrical information, whereby the information is not being shared equal amongst opposite parties. That's where regulation steps in and make sure that the imperfect information is addressed. However, we have excessive regulation may steal innovation and creative bureaucratic inefficiency, so as a balanced approach is crucial. So we need to have a balanced approach. A balanced approach allows the markets to operate much more freely. Because if you introduce excessive regulation, that stifles innovation. So that goes back even to Alpha Latham, the American economist, whereby I was talking about if you overtax the highly innovative people in the country, of course you might increase productivity, you might increase revenue, but there's a certain point, the minimum efficient point, once it's reached, then productivity will start to fall. And even the revenue of the tax collection that you're getting will start to fall. That's the idea behind the excessive regulation. You don't have to have excessive regulation because it stimulates innovation. If there's no innovation, there's no jobs, and there's no finding new ways of doing and just about anything in terms of business. So we need to be able to limit those bureaucratic inefficiencies from happening. So we need a balanced approach whereby markets will be allowed to operate at the same time. A balanced approach whereby we are managing the externalities and the monopoly power and the imperfect information. So that's the balanced approach. Then we have taxes and subsidies. So taxes, as you know, taxing is a form of government revenue. So when you talk about taxing, we're looking at taxing those negative externalities like pollution, whereby we charge a pollution tax, or subsidizing positive externalities like education. We are looking at subsidizing those goods which have a positive externalities in their consumption because education is important. So we can align those private incentives with social goals because society needs to have a better way, a better living, uh, better standards of living. So, however, determining the right tax or subsidy level can be challenging because you don't know which level you're going to be put. You might end up over subsidizing or over taxing. So, that's very important for you to know that a subsidy is supposed to be set at the right level because if you over subsidize, companies will become much more inefficient because they'll be relying on your subsidy to produce. That's a problem. Also, at the same time, if you overtax, then this is creeping in with the issues of tax evasion, tax avoidance. So we need to have a balance whereby we have the right tax, having the right information in the subsidy level, which leaves the business being able to also contribute to its full ability to make sure that it produces more. As you know, a subsidy is this is it's a grant or input that's given to the firm to reduce the cost of production. So the subsidy, what it does is increases the supply, the supply to the right, whereby as the tax is, if you increase the value of the tax, it reduces the supply from left shifting supply to the left. Because there will be a supply will be added to tax on top. So also on subsidy side, we are adding a subsidy on top, which is the supply to the right, and the tax shift the supply to the left. So that's very important for you to know that. Then you have public goods provision. Because public goods are very important, because you have to know that they are non-excludability and non-rivalry is very important, because public goods are provided for all. Because you know that once they are provided, they don't stop anyone benefiting from that good. Because if someone benefits from the good, it doesn't reduce the amount for you available for others. That's what makes public goods very important, reducing market failure. Because when you talk about government provision for public goods, to ensure their availability, they will be provided plentifully with the government. However, identifying true public goods and managing them efficiently is vital to prevent waste and misuse of resources. But that's always the issue. The idea of management, resource management, whereby we have to look at identifying the true public goods that really need our attention as the government, and make sure that we provide it efficiently, and don't prevent much more waste of resources and misuse of resources. Because usually government will be not fully informed, and they might end up causing what you call even the government failure, which is a problem, but the government doesn't have the proper information to identify the true public goods and manage them efficiently, which is a key issue behind most government, the idea of managing resources efficiently. Then we have issue of antitrust laws. They are also a policy that can reduce they can reduce market failure. So enforcing antitrust laws will prevent the abuse of market power, because if companies are too dominant, they will exploit the consumers. Look at the idea that we have mega companies like Amazon, like Facebook, like Google. These are mega companies whereby they have too much power, so they need antitrust laws that protect the citizens in a way that they don't abuse the human rights, or they don't end up using information without our consent, or selling such information to companies such as data brokers who actually buy that information without our consent, whereby they, they are targeting us using ads and all those things. And so they need antitrust laws that make sure that they continue to be in check in terms of what is necessary to do in terms of how they do business. Also, on the however side, this requires an ongoing vigilance to adopt to evolving market dynamics and emerging forms of monopolistic behavior. We need to always be vigilant, because the adaptability of those states, because we are living in a dynamic world whereby everything is changing at a faster pace that we can predict. Look at how even the Facebook was started, and due it to the billions evaluation, whereby right now everyone is going to that social media platform. It is now shaping the global decision, or the global framework is now something that is very important. So we need to be able to look at those dynamic emerging forms of those monopolistic behavior, because they're going to be able to keep us into the future if we continue to leave them to have that abuse of market power. Then we have information policies. So we are targeting information, because information is something that is very vital. So when you talk about improving information transparency, can mitigate imperfect information, because information is vital. Because right now information is much more pure than gold. However, information itself right now is something that is much more valuable than any other things right now on earth. So the issue is that we are looking at the idea that we don't want to have misbelief. We want to make sure that we mitigate imperfect information. We want to promote what we call transparency. Information is supposed to be transparent. So policies promoting disclosure in standardization can empower consumers to make informed choices, because they will know what they are signing up for. They will know that when once I'm getting on this platform, um, my risk is this and that. So we need them to be informed, because we need to empower the consumer that they have the information. So at their hands, whereby they can make the appropriate choices. Whereby this is all consumerism. That is very important. Then we have environmental policies. Environmental policies is a very crucial policy, because we are looking at the regulation and incentives aimed to reduce environmental externalities, because the environment is finite in supply. So whatever we do, any emission, emission trading or carbon taxes can encourage sustainable practices, because they need to be there, because the amount of environmental damage that is being done by these huge corporations is very disastrous. Even the cost itself has been underrated. Even we can't even recover the vast amount of land that we are losing out, or forests that we are losing out to this large corporation. Even climate change itself has been something that is really being affected in the country because of these uh, environmental externalities. But however, finding the right balance to avoid stifling economic activity is essential because we always have to know that these companies are contributing to the gross domestic product of the country. So we need to find the right balance that we don't have to avoid the stifling of the economic activity because the economic activity has to continue to grow because we need the economy to continue to operate. That's the level of that's economic activity. So we need to continue to increase our GDP as a country. And we need to continue to keep people in jobs so that they can have more income that can improve their livelihood. So this is very important. You know, understand that environmental policies play a very crucial role in causing market failure. So we need to be able to have those policies to reduce those market failure because environmental policies are there to make sure that they reduce environmental externalities, which is one of the highest causes of market failure. Then we have income distribution. Income redistribution. We are redistributing the income, which means the reason why we have market failure is because there is income um, inequality, right? So addressing income inequality through taxation, whereby we tax the one who are getting more money through progressive taxes, and social welfare programs like unemployment benefits and child support can enhance demand for essential goods and services because they now have that income threshold that can allow them to get out of that poverty trap that was there, which was a real cause whereby we are having 1% of the people owning 60% of the global wealth, whereby the 40% is allowed to share the rest, which is a very unequal income inequality in a way that that's very uneven distribution of income and wealth. So, which means we have to look at that very seriously as a cause of market failure. That's why we are looking at income redistribution policies, whereby we use taxation. Also, we have benefits that we offer them, the unemployment benefits, the child support, which is very important, programs that we need to make sure that they afford the basic essential goods and services in the economy. But however, excessive redistribution may discourage productive. Of course, because the incentive is the money. So if we overtake those people who are being productive, then we might end up being discouraged to product, or they might end up migrating to other countries whereby they have a variable taxation that doesn't make them much more disadvantaged. So this is one thing that we have to look at, the idea that we should not supposed to excessively look at redistribution over time to idea that we excessively use it in a way that we'll be trying to make sure that we reduce that gap to the highest extent. So we have to look at both sides of the coin. Then we have property rights, the idea that we need people to own land. So establishing and protecting property rights can address issues related to incomplete markets because we have the issue of incomplete markets whereby we are looking at property rights being a legal right to use or manage and dispose of the resources. By just doing that, we are addressing the issue of those incomplete markets. That those incomplete markets need to be filled with individuals that have the entrepreneurial ability to come up with ideas of which what they can do. So we are looking at that very importantly because property rights is a way to reduce market failure in a way that we have unused incomplete markets whereby other people can fill in once they have the property rights. So this encourages efficient transaction in resource allocation because resource allocation goes by having resources which are idle which can be used and produce the productive potential of the economy can improve by using those resources. But they all require property rights so that the people have the legal right of using that land. Then we have competition law policies, because one of the other issues behind the market failure is the lack of competition. So we want to make sure that we have competition policies, promoting healthy competition through policies that prevent anti-competitive practices, help avoid market concentration. So we are looking at having healthy competition in a way that we don't have competition that ends up with the other competitors closing shops, like what was happening when Amazon was getting too big, whereby without even touching a company that is next to it, by just Amazon buying a particular retailer, or Amazon just buying a particular medical company, will end up affecting the other company negatively because they have too much power. So we didn't have an uneven field of competition. The field was not level. So we are trying to level the field whereby we need to have healthy competition that prevent anti-competitive practices and help avoid market concentration. So striking the right balance to prevent both monopoly and excessive fragmentation is crucial. That's what I was trying to say. The idea we're trying to prevent the idea of the monopoly taking advantage of the consumer, because they know that they are the biggest. They have the market power, they have the higher market share. So that is the issue that we have to find the right balance to prevent that fragmentation is crucial. Okay, and then we look at moving forward. We have education and awareness programs. This is important to understand that we need to have the proper education in order for us to be able to reduce market failure. We need to be educated uh, about it. So the issue is that we have to have initiatives to educate the public about market dynamics, about how the market works, how the market changes on a daily basis. We need to be also educated on the rights of the consumers. They need to know their rights and responsibilities to contribute to reducing market failure by fostering informed decision making. Because once people are educated, once people have the information, we end up having a favorable playing field in society, whereby everyone will be informed, they will be making informed decisions, and they will know their rights, they will know what is changed, and what should I do when things change, whereby they are contributing overall the reducing of that market failure. Because if they can speak out and say that this company is affecting us through pollution, this can foster enforcement, this can foster regulation being made by policymakers to say that we have seen what you have said and we are trying to by, by all means make sure that we're going to take those companies and they are going to redistribute uh, the incomes to you through that tax, which is very important. Then, in conclusion, we are looking at excessive policies to reduce market failure required a new understanding of specific market condition. You need to understand the market condition that you are operating in. That's why we were mentioning throughout the lecture that there is issue of excessive taxing, excessive giving of subsidies, excessive. We look at the negative impact of that. So it's all about the idea of looking at the specific market condition that you're working on, and ongoing evaluation and adaptation. That what needs to be done to make sure that once you make an evaluation, you know the proper policy that needs to be done. We need to be able to balance and a well crafted combination of these policies can contribute to a more efficient and equitable economic system, because that's what we all need to have an equitable economy. So that every economic agenda has a fair share of the national cake, whereby you get something from the economic activity, from the GDP of the country, it gets a per capita income that is allocated to them. So we need to be able to look at the combination of these policies, look at their effects, and also find a way in which we can have a balance so that we can apply them and then they contribute to efficiency. And lastly, I have a practice exercise for you whereby you just have to go throughout, evaluate the policy solution reducing market failure, which is a key examination question that always comes up. So make sure that you go through um, on your own and practice this question, and you'll be ready for your exam. So thank you so much. I'll see you.